Hello, people of DragonCon, safe in your living rooms and dens and basements, preparing for the oncoming con. That sounded way too ominous.
That really did.
Should dial that back a bit. Welcome to episode 0 of the DragonCon Late Show. My name is Brian Richardson. To my left,
Hi.
Dr. Stephen Grenade.
I'm Stephen.
I'm Sheena Wiley.
Hey, Sheena is now full-time our co-host on the Late Show.
Yes, yay!
You saw her a couple of days last year and in some segments for DragonCon Productions, so welcome. Welcome to the show.
Great to be back.
Did he double your pay or something?
You mean double nothing?
Yes.
Yeah.
10% of nothing is, let me do the math. Yeah.
The tax calculation.
You know there's tea this time,
There's
so.
tea. Hey,
Coffee
hey, you and tea. That's amazing. So we're going to take the next few dozen minutes and talk about what you should expect at DragonCon this year. 2017, big year for DragonCon. We're expecting 82,000 fans.
That is not right.
It is not right, but we're going to do it anyway. So we're going to give you background tips on how we have survived the con so far, so many years, so many years. The guests that we're looking forward to, some information about Thursday night, because Thursday's the new Friday.
That's now a thing.
Some information about disability services, registration, all the fun stuff, and where you can continue to get information about the convention when it starts going. So, Stephen, dates. When are we doing this thing?
It's Labor Day weekend, just like it has been for a very long time. So it will be September 1st through 4th in lovely Atlanta, Georgia. Bring your coat, it's going to be chilly. It's not going to be chilly. You're going to die. Don't go outside.
We have all the humidity.
Yeah.
Sheena, let's talk about Thursday.
Alrighty. So, what are you guys looking forward to Thursday? I know we have, is it Jillian? No, I'm messing up her
Kenyon.
name. Sharon, yep.
She's doing her book launch event on Thursday. We have DCW Wrestling. And that is a Thursday night event starting, I believe, at 6 p.m.
That sounds right.
And that, by the way, if you want to just show up on Thursday, if you want like a taste of the convention without all the hotel and the planning and the staying, $10 one-day membership for Thursday, not required for Sherilyn Kenyon's event.
Yeah,
but
that
is
will
required.
be free, right?
Yeah, that'll be free. Everything
open.
else, one-day membership, $10. That is the cheapest day of DragonCon. You can get all the cosplay. You can get a lot of the people people check in on Wednesday. I check in on Wednesday now because it's fun. It's kind of relaxing. You can use the elevators. It's great. But also DCW Wrestling has become a thing. We have Kane and there's one other WWE star that are going to be there. Cool. I don't know wrestling. Kane is like a big bald guy with no shirt, which is like, I think 50% of WWE. Don't tweet me. I don't know. I'm making it up.
Fight him. Go ahead. Do it.
Please don't. Streaming memberships. We'll talk about that. Last year, we did streaming for the first time.
Yes.
It was a huge success. We love the streaming. So that is DragonCon.tv. If you have a membership to physically be at DragonCon, it's $10 additional. You can buy that in the DragonCon store. I believe pre-sales for that are now closed. So when you get to DragonCon at registration, you can do the $30 thing, or sorry, the $10 thing. If you can't come to DragonCon, I know some people can't make it every year. They have like the jobs and the things and the stuff. You can get a $30 virtual membership. This is the first time we're doing this. You get everything that happens on DragonCon's stream. So that's everything that you would see on a hotel TV channel, including our lovely late show twice a day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of DragonCon Update with Nancy. So you can get a viewpoint into the con even if you're not there.
Nice.
It's sort of our convention outreach program. And also what we call a DVR feature. Basically, if you get this access, 3 months after the convention, you can watch everything that we taped for main programming. Taped, I'm old. Recorded digitally, high definition. So that right now, DragonCon 2016, if you had a streaming membership, you can watch 60 hours of DragonCon 2016.
Thanks.
So that's like, I guess, mainlining and prepping for all of this.
Basically.
60 hours to get ready.
That's a lot
Just
of
have it on
content.
loop.
Oh, so much of the loop. And remember, that's DragonCon.tv. So go visit that when you get a chance. And now, what you've all been waiting for, we're going to read every guest that's coming. No, we're not.
Yeah. All 450 of them.
Oh, no.
There's like 400 guests, a bunch of attending professionals. Sheena, who are you excited on our guest list?
I am super excited about Mary Elizabeth Glenn and Steve Bloom. They are voice actors from anime. Steve Bloom did Spike in Cowboy Bebop. Mary Elizabeth Glenn is the voice of Major Kusanagi in Ghost in the Shell. So, girl crush on her.
Yeah.
So,
there are so many
her.
shells,
I
so
love
many
her voice.
ghosts.
Yes.
So many ghosts.
Yes.
Stephen, any guest excitement you have?
So I'm excited that we have like a whole bunch of people from Doctor Who. That's always fun. I enjoy that a lot. But I'm really excited about the fact that Cecil Baldwin, who is the voice of Night Vale from the Night Vale podcast. I speak really well. I didn't take any English classes in
I know
college. Can you
words.
tell?
Did you do community radio?
Yes. So Cecil Baldwin will be there and be performing and doing a bunch of stuff, and I'm really kind of excited about that.
Have you seen Welcome to Night Vale live?
I have not. That is one of the things that I need to
It's a
do.
wonderful experience. Those are always good shows. The podcast is like over 100 episodes. They do live shows all around the world. They're in Australia right now,
Cool.
doing their show. I believe that's correct.
Yeah,
and
it's sort of like comedy horror. It's this town where all these weird kind of things happen, where you make sacrifices to bloodstones to make things happen. There is the sentient glow cloud that occasionally drops dead animals and is on the school board, things like that.
yeah, the
Dog park. Do not go to the dog park.
It's sort of like if Arkham from the H.P. Lovecraft universe had a like a college radio station. That's kind of the vibe.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a great thing. And he is such an engaging personality on a panel. You should really go see that. I'm excited for Michael Rooker from Guardians of the Galaxy. I follow James Gunn on Twitter, like you should. And he's got great behind-the-scenes stories about Michael Rooker. And so he's coming along with Sean Gunn. And we have the crossover of Karen Gillan from Doctor Who and Guardians as well. We've got, there's just such a huge list. It's a big Star Trek year. Carl Urban.
I'm so excited about Carl Urban's chin coming.
As
seen in Dread.
As seen in Dread. William Shatner is back. We
Jonathan
have
Frakes.
Frakes is back. Michael Dorn.
Yes.
Huge next-gen
Love him.
presence. Of course, Garrett Wong is going to be there.
Yep.
Our head of Trek, who was Ensign Kim. Always an ensign, never lieutenant.
And
So sad.
we have an Elton Brown this year
Yeah.
for
Yes.
one day only.
Okay, and that's the note about guests this year. Check the schedule when it comes out. We'll talk about that in a minute. Some guests are 1 or 2 days only. Some guests are 4 days. That means it changes your chances to see them and to get photo ops or signature ops with them, either at their separate events or at the Walk of Fame. So when the schedule does appear magically in the world, make sure you know what day your folks are showing up. So like William Shatner, for instance, I believe is only a Sunday and Monday guest. Alton Brown, as you mentioned, is a Sunday-only guest. Some are Friday and Saturday.
So, Brian, if I was going to wait for the schedule to come out and see when the guests were going to show up and then wanted to register, how would I do that?
Wow, that's amazing. So there is a registration.
I
that happens,
segue.
it happens in the Sheraton Atlanta, which is on the Georgia State campus, sort of. We'll talk about that in a second because that's hilarious. Registration opens on Thursday. You can do on-site registration. If you did pre-registration for your membership, you got a little magic card in the mail. Postcards. Remember when we had mail and postcards? I still send postcards because I'm old. So anyway, that magic card gets you through pre-reg so much faster. It has a little QR code on the thing, like a Rorschach test, but for your computer. And when you scan that, it has all your information. You get through in minutes. If you want to pay on site, you can do that as well. They have separate lines for that. Fun thing, if you have a reservation at the Sheraton, if you've heard local news, Georgia State had a little bit of a dorm issue in pre-registration for their college semester. They are temporarily housing some of the college students in the Sheraton Atlanta before DragonCon. The students have been advised they are out before DragonCon. So if you have a Sheraton reservation, this should not affect it. Do not panic. Remain calm at all times.
That's just like general life advice for the convention. Remain calm at all times.
At all times.
If you like to see the schedule, you should go ahead and download our fantastic app.
Yes.
The schedule is not out yet. The schedule will be out soon. Do not ask when the schedule will be out, because you will make us drink. There's a thing on Facebook. Everybody comes into the thread and says, hey, when's the schedule going to be out? Drink. It's become a game. You download the app now. The schedule will update in the app first, and then the printed pocket program will be available in PDF form.
Yes.
That was a lot of plosives in a very short period of time. Sorry, audio tech crew. But yeah, we're expecting it to be live this week.
So, by the way, if you are procrastinating on coming to DragonCon and are still looking for a hotel room, there are still rooms in the Ramada as of this digital taping.
Yeah. So maybe the minute we said it, they went away.
Right.
But they were a thing.
Yeah.
MARTA's always a thing. You should
MARTA's
possibly
also a
do
thing.
that.
Yes, please use MARTA. Don't. I mean, we're expecting what 82,000 people
Plus,
this year. So yeah, when in doubt, use MARTA. I know I will.
also keep in mind we are not the only thing happening in Atlanta on Labor Day weekend. You have multiple college kickoff games over the weekend. There is other sports type things that happen. There's NASCAR nearby, so we're a popular place. Parking will be available but expensive. If you can use something like a prepaid, actually if you check DragonCon.org, they have information on parking and prepaid parking. If you park at the hotels, you may have the ability to take your car in and out of the parking lot during the show. If you park in a normal deck, probably not so much. Yeah. If you park somewhere where a guy has a cardboard sign that says $10, maybe you shouldn't do that.
I've also done the thing where, since I'm from out of town, I will come in and park at one of the further away MARTA stations that has many overnight parking.
Yes.
And then schlep my stuff in via the MARTA.
Yeah,
train,
not all MARTA stations have overnight parking.
Yes, so yes, if you are going to do that, take a look on the MARTA website and you can see which ones do offer overnight parking.
Yeah. All right.
It would be bad to go back and discover that your car isn't.
Yeah.
Yes. I guess it was a transformer, just got up and walked away, which is tough to do when they boot it. It's like when you boot a transformer, do they limp? How does that work? Is that a thing? Anyway,
look for it in the next.
I feel like they can take it off.
Right.
Yeah. Like, what is this nonsense? Stupid humans. All right, Sheena, let's talk about behavior at cons. I want to invoke Rule 7.
Yes. Cosplay is not consent. Let's remind you guys to not be jerks and to be courteous and respectful of all those cosplaying and of the people walking by too. So like if you're trying to take pictures, because this is a huge problem, get out of the flow of traffic and then take your pictures.
Thank you for that.
Let the river of people continue to flow.
Yes.
That is a bit of an issue. We do prefer that if you want a picture of a cosplayer, you ask them first, even if they're already set up for a shoot off to the side. As a photographer, it really annoys me if I set up a shot and I'm like, this is great, and then somebody else pulls out their phone and sticks it in front of my lens. That's kind of annoying. But ask before taking pictures. It's great. You'll make friends that way. DragonCon does have rules of behavior. They cover things like what the convention can do to ask you to perform elsewhere, i.e. what you do that might get you thrown out of the con or the hotel. We would like you to be on your best behavior, be your best human or whatever species you are cosplaying as. And also weapons policies. DragonCon is on private property. Georgia has firearms rules. They don't normally apply when you walk into somebody's hotel. We're very careful about realistic prop weapons because sometimes from a distance you can't tell if your weapon's really a weapon or just a very well constructed prop that you worked hours and hours upon. Please check DragonCon.org, read the policies. Rule 7 is the one about behavior. There is a weapons policy. If you have a weapon, security will need to check it and maybe peace bonding it. That means blades get locked into sheaths. Things that have blades that don't have coverings may not be, if you are cosplaying as a fireman, you bring an axe. We might not let you carry that around because it looks like an axe.
Yeah, and security is on the lobby level of the Marriott, so that's a good place to stop by if you need to have your weapons inspected and potentially peace bonded, rendered inoperable so you can't draw your sword or things like that.
Or the security that we employ, both private and Atlanta PD and hotel. That they don't mistake it for a live weapon.
Yeah.
That is kind of nice. The other thing that we want to talk about is if you need help with the convention. If you see something that maybe doesn't look quite right and you want to consult somebody, if you're lost, you don't know what's going on, if you just need general assistance, volunteers typically wear the same color lanyard. This year it's purple. Find somebody who's a volunteer, ask them. If they don't know what's going on, they will try to find the person who can help you. So if you need, let's say, a security situation, it's easy just to find a volunteer and they can help you find it. There's also information desks, one in every one of the main hotels. You can go there. They're staffed, I think, not 24 hours, but like most of the day, someone's at the info desk. And that's a good thing to know.
The info desk, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I'm just co-signing.
The info desk is a great place to stop by because they will have printed copies of the Daily Dragon. They will have some of the pocket programs if you are still analog rather than digital. They can help you find events. There are a lot of ballrooms that are named the exact same across these 5 hotels. We have multiple internationals, for example, or grand ballrooms. So if you are having some issues with that and are having trouble puzzling out the map that is available both in the app and in the Daily Dragon, sorry, not the Daily Dragon, the Pocket program, they can help you find where to go.
And the Pocket program really is more like a cargo shorts program. It's kind of big when they print it out, but it's still kind of useful.
So I know you wanted to speak about disability services.
Yes. So
what do people need to do if they have a disability and they need special attention?
Okay, great question. It's like we planned this in advance, or an actual TV show or something. So DragonCon has a great disability services program. And this applies to what we refer to as obvious disabilities, visual, hearing impairment, service animal type of situations if you have a wheelchair or some other type of assistance, and things that people aren't as familiar with. There's a lot of disabilities that aren't immediately visible to people. You may have limited mobility, meaning that you need a wheelchair part of the time. You have a health condition that requires you to have a personal care assistant. You have a service animal that you want to make sure the convention is aware of so it's not mistaken as a pet. So disability services is available in the Sheraton. If you and this is the thing, if you think, oh, well, I hurt my back, or my hip kind of hurts, or I only need to use a wheelchair some of the time, and I don't want to inconvenience anybody, no. We have a set of volunteers that have spent a lot of months planning for this and helping you get through the convention, whether it's help in line, seating, just general movement around the convention. So look up the disability services info on the website, and when you get to registration, I would suggest going to disability services first because they can help you get through registration. If you have trouble standing in lines for long periods of time and you come to you're pre-registered and you show up on Thursday, maybe disability services can help it so you don't have to stand in a line, you know, because standing in line may set it to where you ruin the rest of your convention, and we don't want that to happen.
And that's one of the things that I think a lot of people don't realize is one of the things that we offer as part of disability services is if you have a disability, if you have a condition that keeps you from being able to stand in line for long periods of time or even short periods of time, we can help with that. You will not have to ruin your con by ruining your health standing in line to get into a panel.
Yeah. And also the personal care assistant thing is something fairly recent for us. We do have some allowances for that, and it depends on the type of assistant. If they're allowed to, say if we're in a situation where you need special seating, depending on how your personal assistant is classified, they may or may not be able to go with you to that area. So that's a newer thing, and you should read up on that to make sure that if you have somebody that has to help you medically, that they're able to get to you. And then also the convention has has some information about you. So if security encounters you and you have some kind of health issue, if you don't have the disability services sticker on your badge, they may not know that they should contact them to say, hey, we found this person, there may be a medical issue, anything we need to know. You know, so that's the way the convention can continue to help you enjoy yourself at the show.
And for attendees in general, be mindful. Folks who have worked with disability services will have the disability services sticker, which is a little alien in a wheelchair.
Super cute.
As Brian mentioned, a lot of folks have, you know, what are sometimes called invisible disability, where it's not obvious. Don't ask. Don't be a jerk. Be mindful. Be kind.
No.
Don't pet the service dog.
Do not pet the working service dog.
Would you pet a wheelchair? No. The service dog is not a pet. It performs a useful service, hence the name and the special consideration. And distracting them is actually harmful to the person who requires the service animal to help them move around and get through their day. All right. I think that gets us up now to, because we already talked about a couple of our tips, but how to survive the wonderful 4 or 5 day marathon that is DragonCon. Sheena, how would you survive this giant sci-fi thing that we've created?
I would start with lots of sleep.
Yes.
Self-care is important.
Yes, definitely. Lots of sleep. Make sure you eat. Probably have an energy drink or 2 stashed. Or some coffee, you know, whatever your choice is. But yeah, definitely get lots of rest, guys. It's going to be a long, long weekend. So.
This is a good point for us to talk about hydration.
Yeah.
We recommend hydration very strongly. I would also say people are there to have fun. They're there to have a good time. Emotions run high. People get very excited. be kind to each other.
Yes.
As much as possible. Recognize that we are all trying to have fun together in this very crowded and limited space.
Yeah.
So kindness is above and beyond what your instincts might tell you in terms of being kind and being thoughtful for others can make everybody's convention so much better.
Yeah.
And to piggyback on that, patience.
Yes.
Lots and lots of patience.
There's some planning that you need.
Yes.
So Nick Offerman, who is on Parks and Recreation with his magnificent mustache, lives in Los Angeles and actually gave this tip that every time he goes somewhere in LA, he knows that everybody else is on their way to what they think is going to be their dream. So he always leaves like 15 extra minutes so that he doesn't have to cut somebody off. He has time to let people in front of him. And so that way he's not interfering with someone getting to their dream. And that's actually like a nice tip to bring into here because everybody is here for everyone's passionate about something in fandom. That's one of the things I love about this. It's one of the reasons that I'm volunteering more than participating is because I want to make sure the show runs so that everybody has a good time. And because of that, you have to allow for, like, if you think it's going to take you 15 minutes to get to the hotel, maybe take 25. You know, plan a little carefully.
Yeah.
Be ready for your plans to change. Go with the moment. Maybe you can't get into this panel, but something cool is happening next door, and you're like, I should check this out, and just maybe this Gravity Falls is a thing I should be into.
Embrace the random things that will happen to you at con.
Yep.
And once you do that and realize that everybody is there because they're enjoying it and passionate about it, then if you remember that everybody else is there to have fun, you can have some fun yourself.
Yeah.
And do the things that make it easy for you to enjoy the experience. We don't want you to be miserable. We don't want you to miss out on something. And we don't want you to be the reason somebody else has a bad day. So I think on that, Sheena's taking the self-care thing
Just
very
dying a
seriously
little bit.
right
The
now.
good news is
Just a
you're getting your illness out ahead of DragonCon
Before
instead of at
DragonCon.
DragonCon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, before you take a sip of tea, could I get you to say you have failed this city? Because I think with the voice right now, you could pull off a pretty good Oliver Queen. I also think you learned from your mistakes better than he does, so you might be a better superhero. Sorry, did I say that out loud? Anyway. All right. There are two last things. One, parade. Oh, we love a parade.
We do love a parade.
Goodness, we love a parade. So we have two ways of handling parade coverage this year. One is on our streaming service and in all the DragonCon host hotels, Hyatt, Marriott, Hilton, Sheraton, Weston, you have DragonConTV available in your room. The parade will be on that. Sheena will be one of the co-hosts.
Yes.
Thank you for handling that. Because I am going to be, again, on Atlanta's CW handling the parade on their coverage. So if you're not coming to DragonCon and you want to see a slightly different view of the parade, that will be available on Atlanta's CW at 10 a.m. Running the full length of the parade this year. It will not cut off at 11. It will replay in prime time at 10 p.m. So you'll be able to watch that either way. And we typically upload our parade coverage to the YouTube as well, but it will be typically the day after. We're expecting over 3,000 people in the parade.
The second annual Last DragonCon parade.
Yes. If you come to the parade and you want to see it in person, look at the parade route map on the website. Get there early. People camp for this thing like it's a fish show. I think it's not
That's the aquarium. That's down the street.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
that's Saturday night. That's different. But it's a big deal. And it's fun to be in the crowd, and it's fun to watch it on TV. It's fun to actually host it on TV. It's actually just a
Yeah, I can't believe I'm
wonderful
sitting with two
experience.
hosts of the DragonCon parade.
Used to do the thing too, a long time ago on a DragonCon TV far, far away. The second is social media. Things are going to change. Things will happen at the show. We will use the Twitters and whatnots to update you. If you're on Twitter, 3 things to follow. One is DragonConTV. That's us. Hi, how you doing? Second is at DragonCon. That's the official DragonCon channel. And third is the Daily Dragon, which is our little hometown newspaper. And they will have schedule changes, updates, interviews all throughout the show.
It's like a podcast that they print.
It's a really weird concept. I think about that now. Sort of like if you printed out Audible. Wait, that's just a book. Okay.
Like my printed audiobooks.
Yes, exactly. Oh, hipsters. Anyway, I think that's it. Anything else we should close with? The crew's getting kind of antsy. We should probably wrap it up.
I don't think so. You were talking about the parade.
Yes.
Stan Lee will be the Grand Marshal.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
So look forward to that.
And we actually, I forgot about this, we had a couple of people who are in a contest. They were in a cosplay contest that they won, and they get to be in the parade with Stan Lee and the Grand Marshal Park.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice.
So they're a cameo for Stan Lee.
Exactly. It's sort of
Nice.
reversed. And one of them is a Spider-Gwen cosplay, which I'm just super
That's
excited about.
great.
All right, Stephen, anything to wrap up with?
No, but be ready. DragonCon is coming, much like winter, which I guess has already come. Winter has come.
It's in
Again,
the process?
Yeah.
maybe. Winter won't be here
We'll find
soon
out.
enough.
Yeah.
If winter does show up, go to IKEA, make a little cape, post an instruction video. Thank you, Game of
Cover
Thrones,
yourself
for
in
that.
meatballs.
Yes.
They're warm.
All right, I thought they smelled bad on the outside. No, wait, never mind. On that terrible note, this has been Sheena, Stephen, and Brian. Thank you for watching. We'll see you at the convention.
Bye, guys.
Bye.